For me, one of the funniest, most surprising and most exciting moments was when we had the flash mob outside when we were over at the Truman Brewery, and it was the launch of Tech City. Do you remember this? Back in 2010, David Cameron.
We all went out with our cushions and pillows.
That's right, all the big wigs were pouring out of this big event.
I say all of us, there's only like 10 of us.
Yeah, there was only 10 of us, but we were very high impact because we all stood behind our social media cushions. And then in the half hour when all the big wigs all came out of that event.
So we had social media cushions in 2009.
Yes, we did. And we gave out all our business cards. And it was the best half hour of networking, I think, that I ever did. And a lot of fun. And then we had a giant pillow fight, and that's what was so much fun. we all took those cushions and just scrapped with them, and really enjoyed the day.
Very often are growing quite rapidly. We want to execute a lot of stuff right now, like over this month, next month, this quarter, and yet we also know that we've got very ambitious growth plans. And certainly the sort of side of the business that I'm the most involved in, you can directly sort of mix and match how much you want to be able to go fast now versus go fast later.
One of the things I think is always difficult to get right is timing. So I'm thinking, whether that's entering a new market or launching a new product, it's very, very hard to get that right. We've had several occasions where I think we've been too early, several occasions where I think we've been a bit late, and it's just one of those classically difficult things to do. So if you go in first and you go in too early and there is no market, you're creating a market, that's tremendously difficult to do, and we've been successful doing that on some occasions, but then you leave it until the market's proven and you're entering as a number 2 or number 3. So we've entered some geographical markets, I would say probably slightly too late, and that's really challenging too. So actually nailing that and doing it at exactly the right time, I think is very difficult.
Hindsight's an easy thing. Everyone looks back and always says, I should have done this, should have done that. But I look back on lots of the decisions now and I think, with the information that we had, I don't think that there was an obvious missed thing. It's just judgment.
So when we've been talking over the last decade about the trends that we are detecting and playing into, content marketing, so brands and advertisers moving from pure advertising to creating content and acting more like content producers. I think that we saw that trend 10 years ago. That trend is still as strong now, stronger now than it was a decade ago. But I think we got that absolutely right, and that was in fact a more important trend to spot than, say, the movement towards programmatic media trading, and more important to us in terms of our business and in terms of our DNA. So I think we did get that. Absolutely right.
I think what we also did was understand early on that the answer to lots of content marketing being created wasn't simply to create more and to talk louder and push it out in front of more people.
Well, exactly. Not. It wasn't just to spend more on media.
No, it was about creating the right content that would really genuinely resonate with people, and helping brands to create content that would add a value and that people would want to watch and share. I love Keyboard Cat. I guess I like the music. I like I love the way that online video culture has brought into being all these different genres. Whether it's supercuts, whether it's reaction videos, fail videos, and I just think that Keyboard Cat is a great mashup of a fail video with a bit of random cute cat video, and together they work really well.
No, so the thing that I really like about it is that it's a meme. Why is it a meme? Because it's really, really, really easy for people to do that mashup. You just take a fail, whack 10 seconds of video on the end, boom, done.
The favourite parts of my working days, and it varies from day to day whenever it is, but it's when I go over to a group of people or a team and I realise that things have massively moved forward and I've not actually been aware of what's going on. So it's like the problem of yesterday, that's already solved, we're already 3 steps further ahead, and it's all magically happened whilst my attention has been somewhere else. And this is something which is only possible because of so many amazing people around the business that can own kind of like everything, all of the nuts and bolts. They understand the actual high-level problems, not just the small bits and pieces of it. So things can just move forward, without me even knowing what's going on.
My favourite part of the day is running up the stairs, dropping my bag on my seat, and running into the kitchen to make some toast and have a cup of coffee. And the promise of the whole day is ahead. And there are always people in the kitchen making coffee, chatting. It's often a good moment to catch people if we're planning on doing something together during the day. And there's generally a real buzz and an excitement and an energy at the start of the day because everybody comes in knowing there's lots to do and really keen to get going with it.
One of the things that people do underestimate is if you try and start a business, you learn a huge amount. Even what would be considered failure is actually probably going to be really useful to you in your future career. So if you start a business and it doesn't work out, still you're going to have learned so many things. You'll be very, very valuable to another company in the future, and it's something to kind of like think about.
And the other thing as well is around co-founders. So I think we've been honestly very lucky that we managed to found the business, the three of us, 10 years ago, and we're still here as co-founders 10 years later, working really well together, having learned to work probably much better together than we were able to work 10 years ago. Founding things solo, I think, is really hard, particularly if you lack certain areas of experience. So generally multi-founder teams are more successful than solo founder teams, but having the wrong co-founders is one of the things that can go very badly wrong. One of Matt's massive strengths is around communication, because if you think about that, originally Agile is to solve the communication gap between business and engineering, but as you get bigger, that's not just your only interface. You have lots and lots of interfaces across lots and lots of teams, but Matt's kind of like a natural at spotting that, and is probably the best of the three of us at making sure that things have been communicated up, and down and sideways, just to try and create alignment across the company.
One of the things that I most respect, Scott, about you, which is you are a completely fearless thinker. Your mind takes you to all kinds of places. You're not afraid to think of really radical alternatives, and you're not afraid to say no. And you're not afraid to try and do the impossible, and you just have a really unusual way of seeing things and looking around corners that maybe people haven't seen, but then doing the critical, very kind of thorough analysis on them as well, which is very unusual to have both those skills. So I think you're an incredibly visionary innovator, and you see the industry developing. You're light years ahead of lots of people thinking about this industry, and the way that you do that, but also an incredibly generous co-founder, very generous with your time and very generous with credit that you share with all of us and everybody in the company. I think it's a testament to your amazing leadership.
It's almost like the desktop web is going to disappear, it's going to die. Much of the things that we've been accustomed to doing on laptops and PCs, we just won't do on them anymore, because everything will be done from a cell phone, from a smartphone, which I think completely changes the relation between online and offline. It's always been presented as being some kind of dichotomy or distinction, but when you've got a device with you all of the time, so when you go to a hotel or you get in a car or you go shopping or you order a coffee and you've got it with you, I think that completely eradicates that distinction.
I think that someone will crack augmented reality in the likes of Google Glasses, but it may not be in the form of Google Glasses.
No, just because you can... like the Palm Pilot of...
But 10 years is quite a long time. There's quite a lot. There's quite a lot of money still being put into augmented reality projects, and there's obviously huge advertising potential around that. The idea of kind of like Googling something on your phone and web search and then getting some contextual ads is obviously going to look pretty old school compared to walking down the high street, and as you look at a shop, knowing other shops that serve, sell similar things nearby, and what goods they have in stock and things like this, they're sort of like the connected world, I think, is going to make another generational jump, and I think possibly within the next 10 years that might be in mainstream usage.
Nothing. I'm not going to have one. Let's all live forever.
You've been contrary about the contrariness now, aren't you?
I was thinking it's a really difficult one. I was thinking a lot of things.
We shouldn't have tombstones.
It's very difficult to avoid humour in these situations. Like, he may be dead, but we're not sure. It's probably the thing I most like. At least there's a small chance.
Or actually, if I am dead and we miss the singularity, you should bring me back.
Bring me back. Yes.
Whenever you have the right tech, bring me back.
So, in terms of what's coming next down the pipe for Unruly, growth, explosive growth. The acquisition by News has just been kind of a phenomenal launch pad for us in terms of giving us unique access to audiences, to fantastic media. And I think what's really exciting at the moment is it reminds me a little of a few years ago, maybe just after we'd taken the Series A, and we had that huge growth spurt, lots of open roles, lots of excitement.
Yeah, well, we're hiring more people now. We have more open roles than we ever have done at any point in our history. Yeah. So even though we're kind of 10 years in, we've done a large amount of time. We've done so much of what's perceived to be the journey, including exit, but we're still really at this really exciting frontier point where we've got all of these assets, all of these partner companies that News to work with, and a ton of stuff we want to do and a ton of people we want to hire.
Because for us this wasn't about an exit, this was about the next stage of the journey, and we've never made any secrets that we want to build $1 billion business, and I feel we're in a much stronger position to be able to do that now.
Yeah, more likelihood, do it faster.
Yes.
Yeah.